Hello, I'm spontaneously going live because I'm noticing that the algorithm is censoring my content. And so I am playing with Instagram because I have a really important announcement. I really want to make sure that it gets in front of the right people. Right now, the post with the announcement is it's been live for an hour and it's literally not shown it to anybody. So what I've noticed is because I've been talking more about matriarchy, responding to current events, talking about decolonization, all of these things. Maybe I shouldn't even be saying these things, but and I'm hearing from other people they're having a similar experience, but there is some kind of censorship going on. It's very annoying. I did send out a newsletter this morning. So if you're on my newsletter, you will have received this announcement, and I want you to go into your email inbox and find it. If you don't see it, let me know. I'll cross-reference your email address with my list to make sure you get my newsletters, because if social media is going to become censoring people like myself who are talking about the need for both inner transformation and outer transformation, then I do want to make sure that you're able to find me. I'm also posting to my Substack, and I'm posting even longer form content there that is really coming from a deep inspiration, and I would love to invite you there. Okay, so here's the story that I want to share with you. I woke up at 5 this morning. Oh yay, people are here. Hello, welcome everybody. I'm going live spontaneously to share a story and announcement with you. I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning, not because this little baby woke me up, or my 4-year-old toddler. I guess he's not a toddler anymore. My 4-year-old kid, but because I woke up from a nightmare. I'm not going to tell you what the nightmare was because you don't need it in your mind, but it was very much rooted in the collective experience, the unfolding, the unveiling going on the land where I live, and on Turtle Island in the United States. And so I woke up just in this panic. You know when you wake up from a nightmare that feels so real and your heart is racing? It's too intense. And I had slept 6 hours, so it was, you know how this goes. You wake up and you're like, is this enough sleep? Should I go back to sleep? I knew I wouldn't get back to sleep. So what did I do? I decided to do ceremony. That is always when I am feeling that sense of panic or uncertainty, and especially if it's early in the morning before sunrise, ceremony is always the thing. So I sat in ceremony. And even before I sat down, I had this little thing in the back of my mind that was telling me you have to offer something today. There are people who need to hear from you today. There are people who need scholarships, people who need to step up as sacred healers and just need that little extra push to sweeten the deal for them. And so I had that in the back of my mind. I sat down during ceremony, and the card that I pulled is from a deck called the Good Tarot. See if I can pull a picture of it up here. I don't think I can. Can I? Okay. Share your photo. Yes, it was this. So the king, you can't really see it completely, but it's the King of Fire, and it says spiritual influencer, creative inspired leadership. When I'm aligned with spirit, I am a powerful leader who inspires others. My mastery benefits others as I teach them directly at times and indirectly at others. That's such a beautiful nuance here. As I teach them directly at times and indirectly at others. How gorgeous is that? I feel like so many of us get caught up in saying exactly the right thing rather than knowing that part of being a spiritual leader is not just being curated and articulate, but it is just in living your life and walking your talk, embodying everything to the fullest degree. The other part of this was, how can I be confident in my own abilities and vision without becoming rigid or closed off to new ideas? And I've been in this creative vortex, in this, what feels like a pressure of creative vortex, that I'm going deep into this well to create something new. And I'm actually so excited about what's happening in the new creation that I'm birthing, the Hearth, and then something that I'll be offering in September. But yes, I'm seeing I'm not alone here. Your dreams have also been all over the place. Yeah, man, it's been intense. Okay, so that was the reading that came through today, which just affirmed for me that the message I was receiving, and I've been harping on this, I know, forever, but especially in the past month or so, the world needs more sacred leaders who are not just like connected to their soul's calling, but also who understand the connectivity between inner transformation and outer transformation. We need sacred leaders who are not afraid to do the shadow work of collective liberation. And I want to bring people more of an opportunity to understand this in all of my offerings. And I know that it's an uncertain time economically and collectively. So I felt called today to offer 20 scholarships to my programs across the board. And I already have people, because I have a list of like 20,000 people on my emailing list. So I already have people who I've sent this out this morning. I went down and I had to like write this message out before sunrise. I sent this out this morning, so folks are already taking advantage of this. But I would, if you're interested, or if you know people who are interested, or just like my most recent post, I shared this. And I would love for you to reshare that with your people if you think that folks in your world would benefit from a scholarship for not only becoming a sacred leader or a self-love coach, deepening in professional development. This also applies to the Hearth, my business temple, which is, again, my new offering I'm so excited about. If you haven't checked it out, please do. But I have the skill set. I have the structured frameworks, the internationally accredited certifications to help people step into sacred leadership now. And I just don't want anything standing in the way of that for folks. So whether you're looking to start that journey or deepen that journey and expand that journey, I have something that will fit you wherever you are on that path. This is for people who feel genuinely called to the work, who would otherwise not be able to enroll, and are ready to engage. And I feel like this is the moment. We need more people here. Let me know if you feel the same way. If you want to read about this, again, I just put this in a post on my page. It's also on my Substack. It's also in the newsletter I sent out today. So many people who are sacred leaders who kind of fit this criteria of maybe readiness and people who need to step forward are those who find that they're people that their friends come to for advice. They're people who have overcome great obstacles and challenges and feel a deep calling to use that lived experience to help others. They know they want to make the world a better place, and being a leader rooted in love is the way that they want to do it. If you want to alchemize your challenges into meaning and purpose, this is for you. So again, it's available to any of my offerings, the Self-Love Coach certification, which is the internationally accredited course I've been offering since 2020. Can you believe it? We're in 2026, 6 years of self-love coaches. There was not a self-love coach certification when I first started, so this is the first, though there are others now. And it's so much more than just the self-love coach certification. I hear from folks every week how transformational this work is. A couple weeks ago, I was in a call with our community. Somebody was sharing about how they were bringing this work into the domestic violence center where they work, and they were using the skill sets to train the other people who were working there to better support the folks who were dealing with and escaping DV, which was big. And then even yesterday or the day before, I was on a call, I think it was yesterday, and folks were talking about how they were using it themselves when they were facing this seeming professional failure. They were using the self-love roadmap and these skill sets to reframe so that they could keep the tenacity moving forward and resiliency in their work, in their business. And that was really beautiful too. So it's great for systemic change, and it's great for internal recalibration. you are welcome to check that out. Also the Done For You Self-Love course, which is essentially taking my all of my material and giving it to you to repurpose. So there's scripts, I think it's 80 pages of scripts or something, and 20 lessons that you, basically it's done, but then I have like insert your story here, insert your version here. So it's a course that's done for you, but then you make it your own. So it's not like you're reselling my material, you're creating your own version without doing the heavy lifting. And then there's the Hearth, which is my new temple for business leadership. And there's it's a comprehensive business course that's going in there, but also ceremony and archetypal embodiment work. I cannot tell you how excited I am about the Hearth. Like, this feels like my soul's calling right now. It's small, but it's going to be big. I'm so excited about this. I previewed some of that material yesterday with an inner group that I'm working with, and they loved it. And that was really affirming for me. And then sort of the self-love coach certification. Oh, the sacred ceremony guide and ritual facilitation training. This is do it on your own time training that I refined over years of training ritual facilitators. And it is a really beautiful course that is rooted in decolonization, ancestral embodiment, blood lineage, and you get to activate your own magic and your own gifts for offering circles, ceremonies, and all of that. Thank you. Yeah, you can check out my post with the details. I'm offering 20 scholarships across all of my programs. It was a divinely guided thing that came through this morning after I alchemized a nightmare that I woke up from into sacred direction. Yes, I really think that as I'm looking around at our landscape of sacred healers and coaches online, it's a really chaotic space right now. There's a lot of pressure, a lot of confusion. Even, Deepak Chopra's and the Epstein files, we're seeing this dismantling, this crumbling of guru culture. And I just also see a lot of folks who are showing up in ways that maybe aren't aligned, or aren't sure how to show up, or there's just a lot going on. I think the answer, Instagram was like, you've been on here for a while. I put limits on myself on Instagram. I think the answer to a lot of the ick in the coaching industry is going back in time to what our ancestors were doing, and a lot of what is required in order to reclaim, and we've already been working towards this, right? Reclaiming earth-based spirituality, reclaiming the divine feminine, reclaiming individual sovereignty, reclaiming collective nourishment, reclaiming nervous system recalibration, how we treat our bodies, how we treat the planet, how we treat each other. These are all questions the coaching industry, the healing industry has been asking, but only in the way of personal transformation, right? How can I manifest my dream life? How can I manifest my body? How can I manifest my romantic relationship? How can I manifest $1 million without looking at what has been getting in the way of me loving my body? Is it just, is it just diet culture, or is it bigger than that? What has been getting in the way of me manifesting a romantic relationship? Is it just my own personal trauma, or is it the patriarchy? These systemic issues impact our individual growth. So as coaches, as spiritual leaders, we need systemic literacy. We need a collective orientation and willingness to do that systemic shadow work, not just where we've been the victims, right? I've seen this in a lot of healing spaces, especially that are made up of women who are okay, I'm deconditioning from the patriarchy. I'm reclaiming the divine feminine within myself. I'm no longer apologizing for myself. I'm reclaiming my rage, but they're not willing to look at where they're perpetuating harm in other ways, where they're perpetuating other isms. And I'm going to try not to use all of the terminology because I don't want Instagram to continue to censor me. But You get what I'm saying? We have to do the shadow work. We have to be willing to look at where we've been a victim, but where we have also been on the side of the oppressor unintentionally, right? We all want to make the world a better place for the most part. We all want to contribute in some way, shape, or form. We all want to live more liberated, happy lives. So what does it look like for us to do this as spiritual leaders in a way that is ethical, that gets the job done internally and externally? There is no such thing as personal transformation divorced from the collective, right? Because you can decondition yourself from good girl toxicity all you want, of like people pleasing and not being able to set boundaries and finding yourself in the same toxic relationships again and again, or not being able to speak up for yourself. But if we're not also dismantling the patriarchy that creates those conditions, it's going to perpetuate for future generations. And we're going to be continually fighting against that, not just within ourselves, but externally. So that literacy about what's happening systemically and how it impacts us individually and how it's impacting our clients. And to be clear, this isn't to... everybody's the expert of themselves, right? This isn't to say we need to place assumptions or judgments on people, but we need to have the awareness and understanding of these broader concepts so that we can hold people better with more reverence and understanding, right? That all of that makes us better spiritual leaders. It allows us to meet the moment. If you incarnated into this lifetime with the desire of being a spiritual leader, having this level of literacy and orientation towards the collective is everything in order for you to meet that mission of helping the people and the planet. Once you choose sacred leadership, you have a responsibility to personal transformation within yourself, to helping others achieve personal transformation, but also collective transformation. All right, my loves, if you are interested in any of these scholarships, please send me an email. So all of the information is in the post, but you send me an email, melanie@melaniemonaco.com. You can also send me a DM or message me on any of my platforms. And I would love to find a place for you in the pathway of reclaiming your sacred leadership. And even if it's not with me, if it's not in this community, but you still feel the call, find somewhere else where that is rooted in decolonization and understanding the systemic work needed for finding a better future, a better pathway forward for us and for our children. Blessings to you. I really encourage you to reach out if you want to continue this conversation. Again, my email, melanie@melaniemonaco.com, Melanie Rose Monaco on Instagram. I am sending you on your way with so many blessings. Be gentle with yourself. I'm here if you need me. Loving you.